the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Philippine Air Force airlifts relief goods from Sulu for typhoon victims. Second IB neutralizes 7 NPA rebels, seizes high-powered firearms in Masbate clash. PNP and MMDA gear up for SONA 2025. Recent 3 storms in Habagat affect 5.2 million residents.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Monday, July 28, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Philippine Air Force deployed a C-130 aircraft to transport relief supplies from Holo, Sulu to Colonel Jesus Villamor Air Base in Pasay City. The operation, done in coordination with the provincial government of Sulu, supports the communities affected by recent typhoons. It highlights the Philippine Air Force's swift response and vital role in disaster relief operations. The mission also reflects the strong cooperation among local government units and the enduring Filipino spirit of bayanihan.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Troops from the 2nd Infantry Battalion neutralized 7 new People's Army members and seized 9 high-powered firearms during a 30-minute firefight in Barangay San Mateo, Uson, Masbate yesterday morning. The clash began around 6 a.m. against the Communist terrorist group under the Komiteng Larangang Guerrilla South SRC-4 Bicol Regional Party Committee. Recovered from the site were rifles, grenade launchers, subversive documents, and personal items. The 9th Infantry Division called on the remaining NPA members to surrender and join the government reintegration programs for lasting peace.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Let us hear more updates from Gina about Army Chief inaugurates a new multi-purpose facility at Marksmanship Training Center.
Of Army Chief Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido led the inauguration of a new multi-purpose building at the Marksmanship Training Center in Camp O'Donnell, Capas, Tarlac. The facility, named after Medal for Valor awardee First Lieutenant Del June Evangelista, will support learning, wellness, and coordination among troops. Lieutenant General Galido praised the initiative as a product of strong leadership and the commitment to soldier development. The building complements existing training structures and reflects the Army's push for world-class mission-ready capabilities. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Colonel Warren Munda, the Deputy Brigade Commander of the 403rd Infantry Brigade, joined the awarding of safe conduct passes to 7 former rebels under the 4th Infantry Division at Camp Evangelista, Cagayan de Oro City. Among the recipients were Erwin Herada and Jessame Visto from the 403rd Brigade's area of responsibility. The ceremony, led by 4th Infantry Division Commander Major General Mitchell Anayron Jr., was supported by the local Amnesty Board and the National Amnesty Commission. The event affirmed the government's commitment to peace and reintegration through Proclamation Number 404.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Moro Islamic Liberation Front announced it will delay the decommissioning of its remaining 14,000 combatants until the Philippine government fulfills key commitments under the Annex on Normalization of the 2014 Peace Agreement. The MILF Central Committee, in a July 19 resolution, which made public, cited the lack of socio-economic support for previously decommissioned fighters as a primary concern. Of the 1,145 combatants already decommissioned. The group said none have transitioned to productive civilian life beyond receiving 100,000 pesos. MILF leaders urged the substantial government action before resuming the disarmament efforts.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Geo. 89 IB trains Bukidnon farmers in mushroom cultivation for livelihood.
Yes, Rofh Bravo Company of the 89th Infantry Battalion conducted a mushroom spawn production demo for the Mascareñas Farmers Association in Kibawe, Bukidnon. The activity taught farmers alternative livelihood skills. The event, held in coordination with Association President Junilo Dumaog, aimed to boost local income and self-reliance. The 89th Infantry Battalion continues to support peace and rural development through sustainable community initiatives. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Naval Forces Southern Luzon launched the Bayanihan mula sa karagatan, delivering food, wheelchairs, and aid to isolated communities in Calaguas Island, Camarines Norte. The mission, held in Barangay Banokbok as part of the Navy's 127th anniversary, benefited residents from Banokbok, Bangkawayan, and Pinagtigasan. The first sole personnel aboard BRP Agta LC-290 distributed the 870 food packs, mobility aids, and other essentials in partnership with local stakeholders. The event also marked the groundbreaking of a public restroom project to improve the sanitation in the area.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Philippine National Police and the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority said that they have made the necessary preparations for the fourth State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at 4 p.m. later at the Batasang Pambansa in Quezon City. National Capital Region Police Office spokesperson Police Major Hazel Asilio said they have been closely coordinating with the intelligence community. She also added that they have not monitored any serious threats that would cause anything untoward the SONA of the President. More than 22,000 NCRPO police personnel have been deployed to conduct security for the annual event.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Leonor. About 12 IB joins Fun Run and 3 a growing activity for resilience in Iloilo.
12 Infantry Battalion joined the Fun Run for Resilience and Tree Growing activity in Bingawan, Iloilo. The event gathered local officials, Philippine National Police, Bureau of Fire Protection, youth groups, and residents in United Push for Health and Environment Protection. Participants ran from Bingawan Covered GM to Barangay Kinar-Upan, followed by a tree planting activity. The 12 Infantry Battalion's involvement reflects the Army's commitment to community resilience and environment sustainability. This is Leonor Tarap reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, the combined effects of the southwest monsoon and the tropical cyclones Krising, Dante, and Emong have affected over 5.2 million people across the Philippines. Based on the latest report for the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, more than 1.4 million families have been affected. They came from 5,833 barangays across 17 regions. Meanwhile, over 86,000 people were displaced, with more than 57,000 families seeking shelter in evacuation centers.
DWDD National News.
4 dams in Luzon had some of their gates open yesterday to release water. Ipo Dam in Norzagray, Bulacan had one gate open at 15 or the 0.15 meters, discharging the water at 33 cubic meters per second. 2 gates were also open at Ambuklaw Dam in Benguet. Meanwhile, Winga Dam, also in Benguet, had 2 gates open at 1 meters, discharging the water at 211.51 cubic meters per second. The Magat Dam, which straddles the provinces of Isabela and Ifugao, had 2 gates open at 3 meters. Water discharge is at 656.39 cubic meters per second.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Glenn about Philippine Air Force deploys Black Hawk for aerial damage assessment in Central Luzon.
Yes, Rofh, the Philippine Air Force deployed an S-70I Black Hawk to support a rapid damage assessment and need analysis mission over storm-hit areas in Pampanga, Bulacan, Bataan, and Tarlac. In coordination with Office of the Civil Defense Region 3 and Department of Social Welfare and Development Field Office 3, the mission aimed to evaluate the impact of severe tropical storm Prising, Tropical Depression Tante, and the enhanced southwest monsoon. Philippine Air Force Tactical Operations Group 3 provided operational support. The mission highlights the Philippine Air Force commitment to timely and coordinated disaster response efforts. This is Glenn Gutierrez reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Glenn.
DWDD National News.
7 houses, an eatery, and a gasoline station were either damaged or destroyed by a tornado in Barangay Nagbakalan, Paway, Ilocos Norte. Paway Mayor Sheila Galano, along with the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council and other volunteers, immediately proceeded to the site to check the situation. Fortunately, no one was hurt during the incident. Galano said that while assessment of damage is still ongoing, the local government will help in fixing their homes. She also added that they have also informed the provincial government about the incident for the donation of other forms of government assistance.
DWDD National News.
Pagasa said that the country would be storm-free until the end of July. However, the southwest monsoon, locally known as Habagat, will prevail, affecting most parts of the archipelago for days. Pagasa weather specialist Robert Badrina said that Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Zambales, Bataan, and Occidental Mindoro would be experiencing occasional rains due to Habagat. The State Weather Bureau is monitoring a typhoon outside the Philippine area of responsibility, but it would not have direct effect in the country.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Maljoy of 1st Sergi about user pack Philippine Army team up for Aurora Province Development Projects.
Yes, Rofh, the United States Army Pacific and the Philippine Army have joined forces to improve infrastructure and healthcare in Aurora Province. A joint team conducted site surveys and coordination meetings across several municipalities in preparation for an Engineering Civic Action Program. The Engineering Civic Action Program will focus on building new school infrastructure and providing vital medical and dental services to communities in need. The team visited numerous schools and met with key local officials, including Mayors Roynald S. of Casiguran and Danilo A. Tolentino of Dipaculaw and Vice Mayor Enrico O. Cordova of Maria Aurora. The extensive site visits included schools in Casiguran, San Ildefonso Elementary School, Lual National High School, Tinib Calangkwa San Integrated School, and Martin Esteves Elementary School, while in Maria Aurora, the Dekeldet Elementary School and Dingalan, the Butas na Bato Elementary School. The team also visited the Philippine Ports Authority in Dibacung. This collaborative effort, based on a memorandum of agreement between the United States and the Philippine militaries, demonstrates a shared commitment to humanitarian aid, community growth, and strengthening the bilateral relationship between the two nations. This is Madrinesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Maljoy of 1st CRG.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines said that power transmission services in Luzon have returned to normal effect after the restoring lines affected by Tropical Cyclone Emong. The normalization of the Luzon grid came after the last affected line, the Bacnotan to Bulala line, was restored. Meanwhile, the Bawang-San Fernando line was partially energized, with the remaining customer-owned and maintained portion still being repaired by Electric Cooperative Luweco. The NGCP assured the public that it continues to monitor weather disturbances and is ready to activate its overall command center should there be any threat to its transmission facilities.
DWDD National News.
And amid the onslaught of the southwest monsoon enhanced by 3 successive storms, Two water concessionaires in Metro Manila have been ordered to suspend their service disconnection activities due to non-payment of bills. The Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System said the suspension would take effect from July 25 to August 8. MWSS Regulatory Office Chief Regulator Patrick Lester T. said the suspension order covers the Maynilad Water Services and Manila Water, but he clarified that the suspension does not cover disconnection cases involving the water service tampering, unlawful activities, as well as violations of laws and regulations.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCON, let's hear some information from Joanne about JTF Karagatan. LGUs coordinate massive relief and rescue operations in North Luzon.
A severely damaged headquarters did not deter troops from the Philippine Navy in La Union from performing their mandate to ensure the safety of the people amid the onslaught of Tropical Cyclone Emong. Captain John Percy Alcos, Philippine Navy spokesperson, said that strong winds and flying debris shattered multiple windows, damaged roofing, and caused flooding in several workspaces at the Naval Station Ernesto Ogbinar, the headquarters of Joint Task Force Karagatan, when Emong battered San Fernando City in La Union. The troops also suffered from power outages, further complicating their living conditions. But despite the setbacks, troops from JTF Karagatan continued to conduct critical search, rescue, and retrieval operations across northern Luzon to support affected communities. 5 individuals were trapped in rising floodwaters, were rescued by JTF Karagatan in Barangay Poblacion, Burgos, Ilocos Norte. SRR teams were also mobilized in La Union to conduct a preemptive evacuation of 500 individuals in San Fernando City. Military personnel also conducted road clearing operations in Barangay Poro Point, San Fernando City to restore access to key roads and reduce public risks. JTF Karagatan personnel also provided critical manpower assistance to various government agencies for the repacking, loading, and distribution of relief goods in La Union. An SRR team from JTF Karagatan was also deployed in Bangged Abra as a standby augmentation for local disaster response units when Emong struck the province. Through the combined efforts of government agencies, civilian volunteers, and uniformed personnel, a total of 10,700 family food packs were successfully prepared for immediate distribution to disaster-stricken communities nationwide. This is John Sagauk reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD National
Meanwhile, the
News.
Department of Foreign Affairs called for calm and restraint and urged the Cambodia and Thailand to pursue a peaceful resolution to their dispute. The state came as the death toll in fighting along their border rose to 32. DFA said they are hopeful that 2 of the country's fellow ASEAN member states will resolve this issue in accordance with the international law and the peaceful settlement of disputes. Without taking sides, the Philippine government emphasized the importance of protecting civilians who may be caught in the crossfire as reports of border skirmishes continue to emerge.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Agriculture said that locally produced agricultural goods such as rice, corn, sugar, chicken, fish, and pork will be protected in the ongoing tariff negotiations with the United States. DA Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. said that Secretary Frederick Go and Trade Secretary Cristina Roque have assured them that the top priority for Philippine trade negotiators is protecting the local producers. Earlier, President Donald Trump had announced that the Philippines has agreed to a 19% tariff on its exports to the U.S. However, Malacanang clarified that the final trade agreement is still being finalized by trade negotiators.
Armed Forces Radio.
And on the other line, let's hear more from Shah about CAA's complete intensive peacekeeping training in Kalinga.
CAFGO active auxiliaries assigned to the Balbalasang Patrol Base successfully completed a month-long training under Oplan Pagpapapigsa TICAA ET Kalinga. The graduation ceremony honored the CAS dedication in strengthening territorial defense, community engagement, and operational discipline. As trusted partners of the 103rd Infantry Mabalasik Battalion, they served as a frontline defenders in remote barangays. Their continued presence helped sustain peace and counter rebel influence in Kalinga's far-flung areas. This is Shayna Araneta reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Shaina.
DWDD National News.
Mock polls conducted in preparation for the first parliamentary elections in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao have been successful. The Commission on Elections said the mock elections posted a transmission rate of 100%. The activity was held in 8 clustered precincts in Marawi and Butig in Lanao del Sur and Bongao and Simonol in Tawi-Tawi. COMEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia reported that up to 400 voters participated in the mock elections.
DWDD Armed Forces
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience in AFP Radio, DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.